Good day. In this presentation, I will show you how to get the measurement of central tendency and the variability. But first, let's know what is measure of central tendency. When we say central tendency, this is the summary measure that attempts to describe a whole set of data with a single value that represents the middle or the center of its distribution. Or in simpler terms, so this is the average. Ito yung value na sentro o that will represent the whole bunch of data you have. Okay? So meron tayong tatlong value on how to measure central tendency. The first one is mean, which is also known as the arithmetic average. So usually, ito lang po ang kinukuhang value para din sa central tendency. So this is the sum of the value of each distribution divided by the number of the observation. The second one is the median. So the median is the middle point of the distribution. But first, you have to arrange our data from descending to ascending or ascending to descending order. Okay? While mode is the most commonly occurring value in a distribution. What is variability? So this describes how similar or varied the set of observed values are for a particular variable. It summarizes the data in a way that shows how scattered the values are and how much they differ from the mean value. So ang variability measures kung gaano ba kalawak o gaano ba kakalat ang ating data. Bakit maganda yun? Pag masyadong malaki ang variability o pagkalawak ng ating data, meaning possible na walang pinag-aagithan o walang relationship ang mga ating gustong pag-aralan. Pero kapag merong maliit lang ang variability, it may suggest that the data or the observed variables shows some relationship. Okay? So, meron tayong iba't ibang measurement ng variability. First one, una dito ay range. So, the range is the difference between the largest and the smallest value. Quartile is the point or the value at which the data being divided into 4 parts. So, kung ano yung middle point mo, that's quartile value. When sa interquartile range, this is the difference between the upper and the lower quartile. And the most commonly or mas accurate value natin to describe the variability ay yung variance in standard deviation. Okay, so it measures the spread of the data around the mean. So let's now have an example problem. So we have here the data of the ages of first-year student from BS Bio. So we want to describe the central tendency and the variability of our samples. The first step we should do is to arrange our data from ascending order or descending order. But in this case, I did it in descending order. So my number 1 is 23. Then we have 21 and so on up to the 12th sample, which is 17. Now, let's get the value of the central tendency. Ang una kong gagawin ay kunin ang mean. And to get the mean, kailangan ko munang kunin ang total ng mga ages natin. So, ang total ng ages is 228. Okay? And to get the value of mean, we just have to divide the total ages from the number of samples. So, ang total ages natin, again, is 228. And the number of samples we have is 12. So, 228 divided by 12, we have 19. So, this is the arithmetic average of our data. So, the center of tendency ng ating data. The other measurement of central tendency can be median. When we say median, this is the middle point. So, bibilangin lang natin from lower to up, from the upper and lower limit, kung ano yung sentro. Since this is 12, the median is in between 6 and 7. So, since in between 6 and 7, we have 19 and 18, we have to get the average of these values. So, 19 plus 18 divided by 2, therefore, our median is 18.1. For the mode, we just have to count yung number of currents ng bawat data. Nakikita natin dito that 23, 21, 20, and 70 appear only once, while 19 it appears 3 times or thrice, while 18, it appears in our data 5 times. So the highest occurrence has is 18. Therefore, our mode 18. Okay, so that is a central tendency. Now, let's proceed with the measurement of central variability or the measurement of variability. The first value I want to get is the range. To compute for the range, we just have to get the upper or the largest value and get the difference from the smallest value. So the largest natin is 23 at ang lowest natin is 17. So the difference is 6. So ito ka-spread out ang ating data according to the value of range. Now, to get the more accurate measurement of variability, we will get the value of the standard deviation. But first, we must get the variance. And to get the variance, we have to create or we have to add another column for our data. So the first column I added is the difference of each sample from the mean. So our mean is 19 as we have computed from the previous slide. So to get the difference o para maglagay ng input o ng value sa ating third column, we just have to subtract each sample from the mean. So we have 23 minus 19, then we have 4, 21 minus 19, we have 2, 20 minus 19, we have 1, 19 minus 19, 0, and so on, up to 17 divided minus 19, we have negative. Now, let's proceed with the fourth columns. In our fourth column, we just have to square kung ano yung value natin from the third column. So, ang mangyayari, 4 squared is 16, 2 squared is 4, 1 squared is 1, 0 squared is 0, up to negative 2 squared is 4. And after that, we just have to add all the data from the fourth column. So summing that, have the total of 30. Nothing. So the value of this and 19 is needed for the computation of variance. So the symbol for variance is x squared, and this is our formula. So the summation of x minus x minus mean squared is equal to 30 as we have computed sa ating fourth column. Yan yun. Divided by n. N is the number of sample we have. So the total number of sample we have is 12. So 12 yung ages na meron tayong recorded. So minus 1. So therefore, our variance is 2.73. Now, to get the value of the standard deviation, so we just have to square root our variance. So this is the formula. So ang gawin lang natin, i-square root lang natin ang 2.73. Therefore, our standard deviation now is equal to 1.65. So meaning, this is the value of how spread our data is.